This is the story of the personal journey of one man, the story of a great and sensitive heart for which there is nothing in the world other than endless chesed and giving. This is the sensational story of Rabbi Simcha Rosenfeld from Jerusalem. The story of Reb Simcha begins when he was a young man, not yet 19. Already in those faraway days, Reb Simcha decided to devote his life for the sake of society, to be there at all the fateful junctions of life, to be a listening ear and an understanding heart for every Jew who needs help. Reb Simcha began his public work in prisons, in Israel's backyard. With his shining smile and broad heart, Reb Simcha appeared at the gates of the prison just in order to encourage the inmates and to show them that there is someone who thinks about them.
He cannot sleep at night until he knows that every last stone was overturned to see if he could help a Jew somewhere. He lives and breathes helping Yidden.
The rabbi dedicates his best talents and energies to caring for youths from good families who went off the track due to negative influences and became disconnected. Reb Simcha succeeded in what many tried but failed, to cause a turnaround in their lost lives and get them back on the right path.
אבא. אין לי מילה אחרת, זה אבא. ואין לו קשר משפחתי אליי. פשוט כך.
אני במשך 10 שנים מתנדב בארגונים שונים. הייתי במשלחת צה"ל להאיטי, ברעידת אדמה הגדולה. הייתי במשלחת זק"א למומבאי בפיגוע הנוראי. ובאמת הכוחות האלה שנותנים לך התנדבות, זה בעצם כוח השראה מאנשים כמו רב שמחה.
יהודי מדהים בחן שלו ובכוח הנתינה שלו.
The rabbi's name started to spread. And when Gedolei Yisrael decided that there was a need to establish mikvahs in every town in Eretz Yisrael, leading Rabbanim turned to Rabbi Simcha and with the help of generous donors, established many dozens of mikvahs in the most remote towns to increase purity among the Jewish people. To serve the needs of his extensive public activity, Reb Simcha rented a building in the heart of Jerusalem. The preserved estate, built in the heart of the city 100 years ago, plays a significant role in the history of the city. This special location in the Nachlaot neighborhood is a magnet for hundreds of thousands of tourists a year. The center established by Reb Simcha quickly became a place for dialogue. It turned into a meeting spot and a location for outreach, reconciliation, and mutual understanding between the various factions in Israel.
Where we have top commanders in the IDF who are observant, teaching classes, other Rebbeim teaching classes. And so we've had this place, we've had thousands and thousands of Israeli soldiers come to the hall.
Reb Simcha makes the facilities available to all at no cost to host family affairs in its halls for those of limited means. The difficult economic situation affects Israel and raises the cost of living. This has brought many families to the brink. In just the last year, many basic foodstuffs went up more than 50% in price, and the families that anyway could not support themselves were facing a state of hunger.
ולא היה לו אוכל, ואני בכמה שנים שילם לו כל יום צהריים, עד שהוא ברוך השם התחתן.
And Simcha was a very approachable person, and he didn't make me feel embarrassed to have to come to him to ask him for anything. And he just responded in a very natural way, a very nice way, and I felt comfortable approaching him to ask him for food, and that's what's so special about him.
ופה באמת בבניין הזה הייתה חתונה שלו, בן אדם שהיה חולה, וברוך השם, ראיתי אותו לפני שבוע, הוא לא מכיר אותה אפילו.
We have a girl in the neighborhood. A year ago, she was run over by an Egged bus. They rushed her to the hospital. The immediate news in the neighborhood was this girl was going to lose her leg. Reb Simcha and his wife took over, hired all the professors they needed, all the top doctors, sat in meetings for hours, spent hours, days, months by this girl's side, and saved her leg. So at one point, Reb Simcha called me and said, you know, this child needs another operation, and either we can have, you know, whoever's on call at the hospital do the operation, or what would really be better, since this is about saving this child's leg, is to hire the private guy. And he told me how much it cost. I said, Reb Simcha, we're talking about a lot of money. And he said, Gevert Glaser, if this was my child, I wouldn't think twice. There's no reason for me to think twice about helping someone else's child.
הגיע לנו מידע על משפחה של 11 נפשות שגרים בדירה של חדר אחד בלבד. ראינו את הבית, פשוט היה מזעזע לראות דבר כזה. ולקחנו את זה ממש כפרויקט, כאתגר, וברוך השם הצלחנו, הוצאנו אותם מהבית, הם גרים היום בדירה של 3 חדרים.
In light of the intolerably difficult situation in Eretz Yisrael, Reb Simcha decided to go into exile. He left his beloved family in order to travel in the world, going from place to place for the sake of raising funds. He does not collect for himself nor for his family. He and they make do with the little they have. He needs money so that he will be able to help another unfortunate family, feed another orphan, enable another poor widow to put food on the table for her children. We must help Reb Simcha. Because when we help Reb Simcha, we help thousands of families with food for Shabbat and holidays. We help hundreds of youths to not go off the derech and down the drain. We help brides and grooms and bar mitzvah boys and parents making a bris to hold a respectable event in a spirit of happiness and joy. We help families with children by providing them with basic foodstuffs so they can subsist respectfully. We help rehabilitate poor families, bringing them to a level where they can function once again in community life. We help hundreds of orphaned children who live in daily hardship so they will not grow up into a world of hunger and lack. We believe, we are sure, that your understanding and caring hearts have room for this outcry. Don't stand aside, shake your heads, and continue on your way. Now is the time, and this is the opportunity to put all your abilities to help Reb Simcha and his organization Lechem Lasovah to fulfill the dictate of the Torah HaKadosha. Umi besarcha lo tis'alam. Do not hide your eyes from your brethren.